What's up, people? I'm Chibuzo Machuku. I'd appreciate you liking this video and subscribing to my channel. I'm going to talk to you about the ongoing crisis in the Democratic Republic of Congo, also known as Congo Kinshasa, not to be confused with the other Congo, that is the People's Republic of Congo, also known as Congo Brazzaville. The two countries are named based apparently on their respective capitals. In the past 6 weeks, the Democratic Republic of the Congo had like a six-figure number of people displaced from their homes. The West funded a rebel group of people from neighboring countries, including at least Rwanda, to fight the locals of that country, to destabilize it. Some of the people were killed. Some women and children were raped in that process. It's about the resources of the country. This is why the Democratic Republic of the Congo has a lot of resources. It is rich in them, but yet poor. The Democratic Republic of the Congo is robbed by the West. The West funded the group to do the operation. This is about electronic devices. They need cobalt and other materials for the lithium-ion battery of devices, such as desktop computers, laptop computers, tablets, and cell phones. The rebels are using the people as slaves in their own country, having them mine to obtain those materials needed for the batteries of such devices. Some of you would be upset about it and would like to boycott the companies that make the devices. Some of you would rather not care because of the skin color of the people or because of the continent. I'm talking about the white supremacists and others that hate Africans. Before I continue, our old clips.
The UN Refugee Agency and the UN Children's Fund express grave concern over the humanitarian crisis unfolding in the east of the Democratic Republic of Congo. Fighting between armed groups and government forces have forcibly displaced over 450,000 people in the last 6 weeks in Rutshuru and Masisi territories in North Kivu province. Jean-Baptiste Munyenzinza now lives in the Bushagara refugee camp, north of the provincial capital. We don't want this life of begging. At home we had fields, cattle, and we lived very well. The most important thing is to stop the war so that we can return home. As the country gears towards elections, many like Munyenzinza are mostly concerned by peace. The UNHCR and UNICEF say the crisis is made worse by the limited humanitarian access to those in need, primarily due to the obstruction of major routes. The number of reported human rights violations, as well as violations against children, keeps rising.
The UN expressed concerns, right? Whatever. The UN, the EU, the West, NATO, and so on, they are all part of the problem. If an African country or any other country not part of the West robbed the West, it would be one thing. However, the UN supports the actions of the West against African countries and other Black countries, Haiti, Jamaica, and so on. You noticed the people in Congo mining without protective devices. They are doing this like the ancient way. working like slaves. They are risking their lives in the Western countries, including the USA, at jobs such as construction, nursing, jobs in the labs like science jobs, and so on. You would be required to wear proper protective equipment. You'd have to take precautions to avoid serious injury or death. But the Western nations are okay with the locals in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Why? Their skin color. They don't care. They want the resources like badly in order to make huge profits. And they put those people, even toddlers, at risk. In the Western nations, let alone toddlers, it would never be okay for someone that is 16 years old to work full time. I mean, like 40 hours a week. The Western nations and companies are not real. The people in Congo, including the toddlers, work all day, every day. How much are they paid? Just what is equivalent to $1 per day. In the USA, let alone $1 per day, how many people still would like to make $10 an hour? None. The Western nations are greedy and evil, like how Blacks in America are sabotaged. The Western world, including the media, doesn't pay attention to that. People protest about the conflicts between Israel and the Palestine, or about the Russia invasion of Ukraine, but they don't pay attention to things like this. I understand the country has an upcoming presidential election. The people need a junta leader instead of a presidential election. Why did I say that? If the election takes place, I expect that same thing that allegedly happened in Nigeria, by which Bola Tinubu became the president, by fixing. I expect the West to play a role in the election coming up in the Democratic Republic of Congo. The current president is a puppet. I expect the West to help the president win by rigging. That would be an assault of democracy. I wish people, especially the Blacks around the world, would help. At least a significant percentage of the people in Africa are needed. Maybe a significant percentage of those in the Democratic Republic of the Congo would be enough to overthrow the puppet leader and get a junta leader to get the country in order, and also get some help from other countries. I'll recommend a country like Burkina Faso. Also, a non-African country like Russia would help. Russia has been helping African countries these days. The Congo needs to have a strong military, and to get the country back in order before having a presidential election in the future, it needs to be safe and resistant to the West. What those rebels are doing is pathetic. They forget that the West is into white supremacy. Let me not think. Thanks for watching.